personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, it's been a long time, it's been a long road, but this is the Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton post-fight review, and your result for the fight is a straight boxing clinic demolition job by Yokohama's finest. All right, Naoya Monster Inoue beats the brakes off Stephen Fulton, and I said it once. I said it once back in 2019, right after the first Donaire fight. I said it back then. I thought it back then. I said, "What do you guys mean he's one of the best fighters in the world? What do you mean Canelo? What do you mean Terrence Crawford?" No, Naoya Inoue is the best fighter in the world, and a lot of people raise their eyebrows at me. A lot of people say, "BT, no, you just want Inoue to be the best." Or you're saying he's the best because you hate Canelo, or you just like these little midget Asian fighters, or stupid shit. People would tell me stupid stuff about what I was telling them, and it's like, no, I know what I saw back then, and it's been validated again now. He took a fighter in Stephen Fulton, and let's give him some credit, because Stephen Fulton, a lot of American fighters don't ever try to do what he did. They don't, I don't like saying that a fighter dare to be great, because I feel like it's cliche, but he did dare to be great. He did something that I would say 95% of American fighters in his position wouldn't do, even if they got the money. That's just the truth. He went to Japan to defend the belts, and he fell short, but he tried. And there's no shame in losing to a guy that's gonna go down as an all-time great, because ultimately, what this was, guys, this was a fight between a world-class, top world champion, a really good fighter for his era, a fringe pound-for-pound guy, and then he ran into a generational talent, a buzzsaw. At this moment in time, he is boxing's perfect blend of speed, power, and reflexes, and that is, Yokohama's finest himself, Naoya Monster Inoue. So, credit to Stephen Fulton. I look forward to seeing what he does in the featherweight division, because that's where I anticipate he'll be moving up to now that he's no longer the champion. But let's talk about Inoue, and let's talk about this fight, because there's just so much to dissect. Being somebody that's been here on YouTube for a long time, and I do see a lot of things that go on and things that are said. I just stay quiet most of the time. But now that the fight has concluded and we've gotten to the truth of the matter is, once again, skin color doesn't win fights. Where you're from doesn't win you fights. Being from a tough neighborhood doesn't win you fights. Okay? Skills win fights. And when it comes to skills, Naoya Inoue had more skills than Stephen Fulton, and that was blatantly obvious in this fight. From the minute the bell rang, you saw Naoya Inoue fight in a more patient manner. You saw him with the up jab at Stephen Fulton, power jab at Stephen Fulton. You saw him, when Fulton got close enough to touching him to that body. You saw, most impressively, the defense of Inoue. The amount of times in this fight that he was able to make Stephen Fulton miss that right hand, which, by the way, Stephen Fulton's right hand is normally pretty accurate. It's a pretty damn good punch for him. It's a punch that's won him a lot of fights and gotten him to this point in his career and beaten some pretty good fighters. But that right hand, throughout the whole totality of the fight, was just non-existent. The reflexes and the understanding of positioning for Inoue, and even his jab, rendered that ineffective. So we had this question that was posed, and we had this question that was asked from a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of dumbasses who don't know about boxing, from a lot of people on YouTube. And listen, if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, feel free to go to the fitting room and try it on and wear it, because there's a lot of content creators here on YouTube who don't love boxing, who are purely in this to feel this false sense of racial superiority, when in reality we're all humans. We're all part of the human race. Ain't no black, there is no black, there is no white, there is none of that shit. It's just we're all the human race. They feel like, because Naoya Inoue fights in a weight class where there aren't a lot of black fighters. Let's just be real, a lot of black American fighters. that it automatically made him not good enough. But could he handle the slick Black American style? Well, not only was the answer a resounding yes, but he out-slicked and out-blacked the slick Black American fighter, quote-unquote. Truth be told, if we're keeping it all the way a spade and all the way a bean, Naoya Inoue had that style that, you know, a lot of people like from America. He seemed to do that style a little bit better than the brother from Philadelphia, and that's no slight on Fulton. I'm just telling y'all what my 4 eyes saw. Now, I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but I have to address that because for years, it's been years. I remember like 4 years ago when he beat Donaire the first fight, and I came on here and I made my post-fight review video just like I am now. I said Naoya Inoue is the best fighter in boxing, not Terrence Crawford, not Canelo Alvarez, not none of them guys. Naoya Inoue is the best, and they say, oh no, BT, because like these little midgets from Asia and Japan, and that wasn't the case. You know, the case was then that I saw a fighter that was the perfect blend of speed, power, and reflexes, and I'm still seeing that now 4 years later. He's shown that consistency. He's shown, and not even just that, he's grown so much since that fight. He's even better, I think, than he was in that fight. So we're witnessing greatness, and for me, like I know we got Crawford Spence on Saturday, and I don't want to downplay those guys. Like they're both top fighters. Like Crawford's shooting to become 2-time undisputed. Earl Spence is trying to become undisputed for the first time, and he's been welterweight champion for a long time. But like, bro, they're both those dudes. They took forever to make that damn fight happen. Forever and a day. Neither one of them is at the peak of their powers or their best. So if Crawford beats Spence, okay, he didn't beat the best Spence. And if Spence beats Crawford, he didn't beat the best Crawford. So who cares? Like, and then granted, I'll watch it. I'll get excited about it. I'm sure it'll be an entertaining fight. And it'll probably be more competitive than this fight, to be honest with you. But the fact that it will probably be more competitive than this fight would actually speak to the greatness of Naoya Inoue, because Stephen Fulton is a damn good fighter. Stephen Fulton is a fringe. I mean, I think he's pound for pound. I would have personally had him like at 10 or 9 on the pound for pound list, but you know, he's done a lot in his career to be proud of. And Naoya Inoue made him look like a C class, D class fighter at times in this fight. It was not competitive, and it's like the great Roy Jones Jr. said. You know, they got the nerve to say, I ain't fight nobody, I just make them look like nobody. He said that in his hit song, Y'all Must Have Forgot. And I'm just glad that Inoue fought a top American champion, because now people in the States don't just see someone like me who they know like the small weight classes and think I'm just gassing him up. No, he really is like that. He really is, you know, a great fighter. He really is, you know, one of boxing's, he's one of the faces of boxing, because there is no face of boxing, but there's many faces of boxing, right? And he's holding it down for Japan. 4-division champion at the age of 30, already 1-time undisputed. They're talking about him fighting Marlon Tapales next. If they get that fight signed, sealed, and delivered by the end of this year, maybe they do one of those like New Year's Eve fights that Japan is famous for. You know, Japan normally has a big fight on New Year's Eve. He could be undisputed he could be 2-time undisputed by the end of this year. So then if he does that, that takes away everyone's argument for Crawford being number 1 if he beats Spence, because now Inoue is 2-time undisputed. So then what? What if Crawford does beat Spence, which that's an if, right? There's no gimmies in that fight. But if he does, and Inoue fights Tapales by the end of this year and beats him, and he's 2-time undisputed, then what else could you say to discredit Naoya Inoue? You can't. He's proven himself time and time again. When it came time to fight aggressive sluggers like the Nonito Donairs of the world, he found a way to win. When it came time to fight the pressure Omar Narvaez fighters, he found a way to win. When it came time to fight the tall, lanky fighters like Jane McDonald or the overly conservative movers like Paul Butler, he won in a spectacular fashion. When he fought the slick Black American style that everyone said that he couldn't beat because he never sparred that style, he never fought that style, he won, and he won easily. I mean, look at the way he set up that straight right hand. And that right hand, that right hand that he lands in the 8th round that leads to the left hook that finishes Fulton, that didn't start in the 8th round. It started early in the fight. It started literally in round 1. He was setting that shot up in round 1. Touching him to the body, you know, making sure that he was showing Fulton different types of looks, different types of jabs, and different types of levels, so that he couldn't get accustomed to what he was doing. So it was a beautiful exhibition of the sweet science of boxing. And I'm gonna quote the great Keith Thurman as I did on my live. Keith Thurman once said it best. He said, "There's a lot of good fighters. There's a lot of good fighters in boxing. It doesn't take a lot to be a good fighter, but it takes a lifetime to master the sweet science of boxing." And Naoya Inoue has mastered the sweet science of boxing like nobody else in the sport right now, except maybe a Crawford. But Crawford's 35, going on 36. Naoya Inoue is 30, so he's younger. He's done more in a shorter time. He's done more with less fights. You got to give him his due. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like the smaller weight classes. I don't care if you can't, if you don't watch enough boxing and your boxing knowledge is limited to not know his resume. That's on you. Your ignorance is not punishment. You don't get to punish Inoue because you're ignorant. All right. So I don't want to hear anything ever again. I'm sure I will. I mean, I haven't gone on social media yet. I haven't had a chance to go look at what all the Inoue the detractors are saying. But I'm sure they'll come up with something creative. They'll say Fulton was inactive, or they'll say, he was still on steroids or something like that. But the reality is, we are witnessing the making of not a good fighter, not even a great fighter, but an all-time great fighter, a guy that's well on his way to becoming living legend status in the sport of boxing. And the way I see it, you may not like it, but if he beats Marlon Tapales and unifies the division within 1 year in 2 fights, he's got to be fighter of the year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I need more time to process what I just saw, because it was such a great fight, a great performance. It wasn't a great fight because it wasn't competitive like I wanted it to be, but that's not a knock on Fulton. It's more really a credit to how great the monster is and what he can do. And I really hope. I know there's always going to be a level of ignorance in the world and stupidity for people judging fighters on skin color and things like that. But let this be another learning lesson that skin color doesn't win fights. Being from the hood don't win you fights. Where you're from don't win you fights. It's all about what's in here. It's all about what's in here, and it's all about what's in here. And as long as those two things are top shelf, A level, A++, creme de la creme type attributes, then you can go as far as you want in boxing and in life. And that's just what it is. So I'm grateful for all the great memories I've had covering this fight. I've made a lot of friends over the last year and a half in Japan and in the USA throughout my time covering this fight. And I always have a special affinity for the Inoue Fulton fight, because it was a lot of fun and it was a great time in my life. So I still got to do a live on this. We'll do the aftermath of Inoue Fulton, probably like in another day, maybe tomorrow we'll do it. But I'm happy for Inoue. I'm happy that he showed the world what he could do, and what he could do in a fight of this magnitude with not just the eyes of Japan on him, but the eyes of the American audience on him too. Because you got to remember, even Inoue's whole career, even for the most part, he's never had the undivided attention of like us over here on this side of the world. We've always just we see his highlight. A lot of people, not me, but like a lot of people just see his highlights when they wake up or they watch the next day, and he kind of becomes a bit of an afterthought over here. But this time, he had the entire intention of the U.S. boxing fan, and he delivered one of the best performances of his career, and one of the most dominant one-sided ass beatings of the year. And he did it to one of the truest champions in boxing, Philadelphia's very own, West Philadelphia's very own. And we ain't talking about Will Smith. We're talking about Cool Boy Fulton. So I got so much respect for him, and he did everything he could. But after all the gamesmanship of the gloves and whatnot, looked like a backfire. He got his ass beat. So that's his cross to bear. Thankfully, it ain't mine or yours. But let me know what you guys think about Inoue Fulton. Make sure you guys go on social media today and badger anybody that you know on the build up to this fight that was like being racist towards Inoue and saying that, you know, and trying to discredit him because he's not black or because he's Asian. There was a lot of that foolishness going on. So make sure you guys go badger them and let them know that they don't know shit about boxing. And just have a great day, man. Have a great day. Catch me on D-Style Boxing's Live. I'm gonna be on D-Style Boxing's Live tonight to talk about this and Crawford and Spence and among other things. So I'll be there tonight. So make sure you guys tune into D-Style Boxing tonight. I'll be there. And yeah, we'll have a live about this tomorrow. The aftermath of Inoue Fulton live will be tomorrow. And then after that, we'll have Sneesa Estrada's live on Friday and Terrence Crawford versus Spence on Saturday. So a busy week here on True School Sports, but a fun week, man. Definitely a great week for boxing. And a great week for Naoya Inoue in Japanese boxing because he's definitely carrying the flag high. You know, they got the best baseball player in the world right now in Shohei Ohtani, and there's a legitimate case to be made. And I think the case is about as strong as it's ever been. It's been strong at other points in his career, but it's definitely stronger now with this demolition job of Stephen Fulton. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.